when a Muslim says the Bible is corrupted, I don't get offended anymore. I just ask, okay, man, when, where, and how?
So the first thing we need to discuss when talking about the authenticity of the Bible is textual variation amongst the manuscripts. Biblical scholars like Bart Ehrman and Brutes Metzger have said that there are hundreds and thousands of textual variants amongst all the different manuscripts of the Bible. Christians often explain this away by saying, oh, they're just mistakes in spelling or punctuation or commas, etc. But these scholars have also affirmed that these are not just mere mistakes. Sometimes they're intentional theological changes.
Now, unfortunately for this Muslim, the scholars that he is quoting, they actually end up proving that the Gospels are reliable. Now, when historians want to figure out whether or not the New Testament is reliable, what they do is called textual criticism. Textual criticism allows us to be able to reconstruct what the original text would have said. And we do this by comparing all the copies we have of that one source and seeing how drastic the changes are. And when it comes to the New Testament, we have over 5,800 Greek manuscripts that we're able to cross-reference and see how big the changes are. And what's interesting is that when we apply textual criticism to the New Testament, what we're able to do is reconstruct roughly 99% of the New Testament of what it would have originally have said. That's not a small number. That's basically the entire text.
On top of that, we have verses that were just straight up added in or taken out or completely misconstrued to change their original meaning. The best example of this is 1 John 5:7, where it gives the Trinitarian formula of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. It can often be seen in the King James Version, but this is a complete mistranslation, and this verse actually doesn't appear in the earliest manuscripts.
I love that this Stonelicker brings up all these verses right here, because these verses are part of that 1% that are not part of the 99%. Because when we use textual criticism, scholars will argue that these verses right here, since they're not found in the earlier surviving manuscripts we have, they're not part of the original gospel and that they're disputed. But that's fine. Let's say I grant that all these verses are not part of the original Gospels. That does nothing to Christianity. Since we're able to reconstruct 99% of the 4 Gospels, we're able to prove Jesus died on the cross and Jesus bodily rose from the dead, which then means, my man, you Stonelicker, you need to leave your false religion and come to Jesus Christ.